Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got game 1 of a best of 3 from AntecAttack number 25, and it is between inFKsis, who is the teal Protoss player in the top left, and GLSnute, who is the red Zerg in the bottom right. Now, I'm gonna do this now before I forget. AntecAttack I cast with Puri together, but any games we don't catch in the quarterfinal onwards, I try and cast myself. Now, when you get to game 2, it's going to be me and Puri because we managed to catch that game. But we do say it's game 1. So this is definitely game 1. We got a bit confused and didn't realise until after the game had finished. Game 2 had finished, unfortunately, because we did come in late. So, bear that in mind, and I do apologise for any confusion caused. Now, what can we expect from these two players? Well, firstly, we have got Ksis, who... well, I've not heard of him ever before, but he's doing quite well. I mean, he is in the kind of grid stage of the AntecAttack tournament where it gets into being a best of 3, and, well, he's clearly a good player. It'll be interesting to see how Snute deals with it. Snute, very well known, obviously a very high level player. And of course, this pylon is down, suggesting it's going to be a fast expand, and this is really interesting placement of the pylon. There's kind of two chains of thought on Antigua Shipyard on where you put this down. One is here, where you try and wall off across this position. The second chain of thought is you build the pylon here, and basically wall off using the Nexus itself. Either way, it's quite difficult to do, but it is forced cross spawns on this version of the map, and Snute at the moment actually going for a 14, no, it was a 15 pull, so that's pretty much normal opening because ultimately you can't afford to go hatch first in case your opponent goes for a forge first build. But it's going to be a Nexus first out of Ksis right now, and that's a good choice. It's really economical but really risky, but he knows from what he's seen from Snute that Snute's going to be trying to early expand. Now, what does Antigua mean as a map choice? Well, basically for Snute it's going to be really quite easy to take the third, because ultimately defending this area not much harder than defending this area. Actually a bit easier because this is a big open space which you can get nice rounds in, and it makes force fields exceptionally difficult for Ksis. I mean, if he was to push down this side, you have to block off all of this, but you can still get surrounded, etc. So that's really interesting. The third base also not that easy for Ksis to take, because this area, while okay, you've got a big open space, which means Zerg players can rush in, they can get surrounded, you need lots of force fields. There's also these rocks, which can be a pain as well. Now, this Overlord coming in will obviously see the Nexus, won't know how far along it is though, so I'm going to have to be a bit of an assumption there, but obviously knows that it is a forge fast expand and doesn't have to panic. We do have this drone coming up to take the third, and it will go down. That is a big win for Snute there, because obviously if that was denied it would have delayed it, but he got that out really early, 4 minutes. So 4 to 5 minutes is when you want to aim to get a third against the fast expanding Protoss as a Zerg. The Queen moving down, this Queen just going to the natural. Will be interesting to see whether Snute gets just one Queen per hatch or gets specific creep spread Queens. Personally, I'm a big fan of getting Queens just for creep spread in addition to the ones for each hatchery. The double gas coming down here from Ksis, that's really normal timing, because basically Protoss essential to get the gas, especially when you start wanting to get the sentries. The cannon down, the gateway on its way, and of course just ready there with the probe to drop down some more stuff if needed to complete that wall off. There goes down the cyber core. And now this is everything going pretty much standard. 5 minutes into the game, double gas out of Snute. That's a bit earlier than you tend to see, and the third base cancelled. God, how did I miss that happening? That is massive. So this is going to be some kind of massive 2-base player out of Snute, unless that was the misclick of the sentry. But this is Snute we're talking about. He's a great player, so I doubt we will see that go down. So basically now, obviously Ksis, if we look at his vision, he's expecting the third, expecting everything to be normal. Snute though, he's got the double gas, the Roach one will probably drop soon. Then basically we'll see a massive Roachling all in. We could also see a Baneling Nest for a Baneling bust, but basically Ksis is not expecting anything anytime soon. He's getting his third and fourth gas as well, which suggests it's going to be a more tech focused build as opposed to big gateway timing or anything like that. The +1 only just started now, so again this is all fairly interesting, but it's going to be delaying. One sentry is on its way out, the Stalker. If this Stalker can get the vision, absolutely essential to know what's going on, but for the moment just more Zerglings being pumped out. And Snute, he's actually banked up an awful lot of lava, up to 9 already, is injecting loads but already spending it that efficiently. The Baneling Nest is now on its way, so this is going to be a big Baneling bust. The robotics facility on its way down now. That could be used for anything from just getting the Observer out early to to getting the Immortals. Immortal Sentry push, very, very effective. Good against big Zergling pushes, big Roach pushes rather. But of course, if a big Baneling bus comes in, that's a huge problem. These Zerglings in the middle of the map are going to complete the dominance and basically deny any scouting. There's going to be no clue of cases that their third base has been cancelled. Speed kicking in about, well, 12 seconds, at which point that Stalker will die a horrible, horrible death. And obviously that is bad times for Cases, and Snute looking to be an amazing spot. If you see here, a huge amount of Zerglings coming over because of course no scouting risk there at all. 2 sentries the only thing out, and basically I don't think those sentries will have enough energy for the force fields in time. Up at 85, I mean 3 force fields, the absolute minimum you can get away with. The Warp Gate Tech knocked done, only the 1 gateway, 3 more being added on now, but there's just no way I can see Cases being able to hold this. The Banelings are just going to detonate. The Observer is going to see what's happening, but really there's very little to do. Now 1 has gone down, the 2nd sentry gone, and this is now just all over. The pylon powering everything, Artosis pylon there, and now all of these probes are going to go. It's going to be absolutely massive for green, which will be sad times. A big warp in, trying to go down, and more sentries. They all get taken out though, and there's the GG from Cases. So that was game 1, and as I said, flick over to game 2. If you like this video, thumbs up it. Obviously, that'd be cool. Leave a sweet comment. When you get to game 2, it's going to be me and Pewee. Don't get confused that we refer to it as game 1. We just got it wrong because we came in late. So thank you very much for watching, and see you in a second game 2. I hope you enjoyed. Bye for now.